Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Just Another 20-something with me, Marisa. And Happy New Year! Again, can you freaking believe it? 2020 is over. Probably the worst year in the history of years for a long, long time. I can't, I can't believe that it's over because I feel like it kind of went by really fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like the longest year in the history of years, but then also felt so fast. And I think it's because we obviously just haven't been doing anything. And so when you don't do anything, the days just fly by because, you don't have anything to really make a memory on, which is, kind of sad. Not a great way to think of a year, but that's kind of what it is, It was just kind of a year of nothing. But I think to put a positive spin on 2020, I kind of wanted to go through all of my favorites of each month and also, some cons. So I'm kind of doing a peach and pit for each month of 2020 because I want to reflect on the good parts of 2020 because I think it's definitely easy to just throw 2020 away and be like, yeah, you know what? This was a shitty year. There's nothing good that happened in it. And, that's not true. When I was writing these all out, there was actually a lot of really fun stuff that happened. Again, were there some bad stuff? Yeah, obviously. But I'm pretty pleased with myself with all the good things that I conjured up. So don't worry. And then I wanted to talk about some New Year's goals that I have. I like to say New Year's goals instead of New Year's resolutions, just because I think obviously everyone puts a ton of pressure on themselves to make the new year like spectacular, and it has to be the best. And for me, these goals that I want to do, like I want to have these goals go past just 2021. Like I want it to be something that I work on for maybe years to come, Like I don't want to put myself in this time limit that if I don't have all these done by 2021, I'm a failure and I did nothing. And that's what people kind of do. Like I know when people are like, I'm going to work out more, and the month of January is like the highest number of people at the gym, and then it like tapers off by probably March or something. Like everyone just gives up and they're like, well, that's it. I'm done. Like it's no big deal. But it's like, no, I kind of want to like do something and stick to it. And maybe if I don't get it all in 2021, that's okay because I have more years and I have more growth and, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So, and before I get into it, I just want to say, one, I hope everyone had a good like holiday weekend. I've been having a lot of fun over my holiday time, even though like obviously it's different. Like I haven't been able to see all my friends or my family or whatever, but honestly, it was really nice to just have a quiet Christmas and a quiet New Year's. And so I hope you guys also had a really good holiday season. And I also wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting me through the podcast. I've been getting texts and reviews and just people, saying that they're proud of me or whatever. And so that's very nice. Ha ha ha. Thank you so much. So anyway, let's get into it. So we're going to start with January. Not a ton happened in January. I mean, I'm obviously, I'm going to say that for every single month. Not a ton happened because duh. So January, some peaches of January. The beginning, I went to the Crab Pot with two of my best friends. And it's, so the Crab Pot is this restaurant in Seattle where you basically just get a ton of crab legs, like potatoes, corn, other seafood just thrown at you on a table, and then you just crack it and eat it and enjoy your life. And so me and my two friends have been dying to do this. Like I remember all of 2019 we were talking about like, oh my gosh, we have to go to the Crab Pot, we have to do this. So we did it in January and it was so much fun. It was the perfect Seattle day. we went to the crab pot and then we went shopping, and it was like cold and crisp but not rainy, which is amazing. And it was really great. It was a really great day, and honestly just a great start to the new year. And another thing that I did in January, which is really fun for me, is I got my nose pierced. Super exciting. Honestly, that was something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Because I didn't have enough money for another tattoo. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's get my nose pierced. Like, that's cheap and it's cute and I love it. And I am still obsessed with it. Like, I love having my nose pierced. It's one of my favorite things. Obviously, like, getting your nose pierced is, well, I mean, okay. I want to say, like, it's a commitment, but obviously it's not. You can just take it out and you're fine. But it is something that you have to take care of, like, a lot. Like, I have to take care of my nose piercing way more than I have to take care of one of my tattoos. Like, the tattoo care process is so much easier than a piercing process. And sometimes it's gross. Like, I kind of forgot that, like, you pierced your skin, and so there's gonna be, like, aftercare. I honestly, like, one day I just looked to my roommate and I was like, hey, I want to go get my nose pierced. Like, do you want to come with me? And she's like, yeah. So we went and I love it. But yeah, again, it's like when you go into it, definitely be prepared that you are going to have to do a lot of care for this piercing. But it's worth it because I love it. And now I feel like it's part of my identity. And if I don't have a piercing, then what's the point? So that was fun. And then a pit of January. So earlier in the year, I think it was actually around Halloween time in 2019, I was super excited because Cody Ko and Noelle, also Tiny Meat Gang, they were having their podcast tour because they've been doing that a lot. And me and my roommate went one year and we just loved it. I mean, I have been a fan of Cody Ko since he was on Vine, not to brag or anything, but I've been an OG fan, and so seeing them live was like life-changing, honestly. They're just so fun and I love them. So I wanted to go again, obviously, and so one of my other friends started listening like more to Cody Ko and Noelle's like content and stuff, so she really wanted to go too. So I was like, okay guys, like, I got this. I am going to get some tickets. And so, like, it was because I think they were both in class, so they couldn't do it in the right time, so I had to, like, go in. And I think I remember it was the day of Halloween weekend, and I was straightening my hair that day. So, and if you know what I look like, I have intense curly hair, which means straightening my hair is a process. And this was the first time I was doing it all by myself because, everyone was busy, and honestly, no one really wants to straighten my hair because that takes years. And so I was like, crap, I have to straighten my hair, but then I also have to buy these tickets like the second they go out. Like, I am stressed. But guess what? I freaking got the tickets. I straightened my hair. It was a messy night, but that's regardless. Either way, I got the tickets. I was so excited. So by January, unfortunately, and this was even like before COVID, but they had to cancel their tour. I forget why. I think they were like not into what their content was going to be. Like, they wanted to change it up, which I guess is fine. And like, it totally worked out because then COVID hit, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But they rescheduled the tour because I think we were supposed to go in like February or March. They rescheduled it to Halloween of 2020. Which, gosh, what did I do? Oh, yeah. Halloween 2020 I was doing nothing fun. So, yeah. So, we were like, we have no idea where we're going to be at that time. Because, of course, COVID didn't hit yet. So, we were all like, we could be in totally different places. We could be working. We could be doing nothing. Like, So we decided, like, okay, I'm not going to rebuy the tickets. Like, I'm just going to get the refund, which was so sad. I was really upset by this, just because I love them so much and I wanted to see them. But like I said, it worked out. I got my refund, and obviously they haven't had a tour. So I guess it worked out in the end, but that was a big pit of January. Okay, so next was February. So the way I was like calculating what I did all these months is that I just look through my pictures on my phone of what I'm doing, And pretty much all of February, I was going out with my friends, which I'm glad that I did because, then I wouldn't be able to go out for basically a year. So, yeah, so February was full of bar pictures, being drunk, having a great time, which I loved. Great. We love that for her. And the pit I also was in about February time is towards the end of my quarter, because the school that I went to had quarters. And so I was deep in group projects and they sucked. I mean, I'm trying to remember what I had that quarter. Now everything is just a blur. I can't even remember anything. But I know I had a ton of group projects. I mean, just as a marketing major, that's pretty much all we ever did was group projects. And so I was just knee deep in doing that. And so literally my life was group projects every single day and then going out at night. So that was pretty much February. Not a lot happening. And then March hit, and I think we can all guess my pit, but let's get into the peach. One of my best friend's birthday is in March, so we got to celebrate her birthday, which was actually, well, it wasn't the last time we went out that month, but it was one of the last times, and it was one of the best times that we went out. So I'm really happy that we got to celebrate her birthday right before, COVID hit. And especially since obviously COVID is still happening, who knows if we'll be able to go out for her birthday this year? Probably not. Who knows? But so we had her birthday, and then one of my other best friends, she graduated, and so we got to take pictures for her. Obviously by this point, COVID was starting to happen, so her graduation was sadly canceled, but we treated her to a whole day of taking pictures and looking cute, getting excited, because that's so shitty to immediately be oh cool, my graduation's canceled. And at that time I had no idea that my graduation would also be canceled, so I was we need to make this fun for her, and then maybe she can come back in the spring and graduate then, you can still walk and stuff. So we tried to make everything great, but then obviously the pit of COVID landed in our lives. And yeah, March was weird. I remember distinctly where I was when all of this was happening. I was working on a group project. Who knew? So I was in the library with my group, and we were all talking about COVID because a lot of other schools have already shut down, and we were kind of the last ones in Washington. And so we were hello, when are we gonna go? Even though we had no idea what this was. We didn't know how drastic this was gonna be. So we were oh my god, why are we still in school? And so I remember we were all working and we were all talking about it, and I get an email and I was guys, hold on. And so I read this email being no group projects, you're just gonna turn in your PowerPoint, school's fucking canceled, get out of here, go home, don't talk to anyone, bye. And so we were all ecstatic because we were hell fucking yeah, we don't have to do this presentation anymore. And we were I can't remember if that class even had a final. This was a very easy class. I mean, I totally enjoyed it, loved the professor, but oh my god, that class was painfully easy. So we were just hell fucking yeah, bye bitches, see you later. And yeah, then I never came back to school, except for one presentation. I still did that. I don't know why that didn't get canceled, but whatever. Then that was my last day ever seeing any of those people ever again, which is really sad. I mean, a lot of them were already graduating early, so I wouldn't have seen them anyway, but it's kind of surreal to think about. That was literally the last time I was on campus being with my classmates, and I was hell yeah, never have to see you guys again, bye-bye. Which is so terrible. But yeah, puts into perspective that maybe I did miss school a little bit. But anyway, so these months I kind of squished together because it sucked. So this is April and May. Nothing happened. I mean, this was prime COVID time. I went home for spring break, and we got extended 2 weeks, and we were just inside the entire time. I watched Tiger King, the classic COVID beginning stages. And so we went back, and obviously we had really no idea what to do about this. And I think at this point nothing was open. Like we were still in lockdown, like except for the grocery store. So I didn't leave my house much except for like I I went like on some walks with my roommates, and like I did have a few of my friends over just so we could like chill and drink and stuff, because we kind of had like a little bubble of the people we were seeing. Like I was literally seeing my roommates and then like 2 outside friends because we were like, we don't know what this is about. And so yeah, April and May were very, very bleh. I just had online school, which was my biggest pit of those months. Online school sucks really hard. I give all my sympathy to everyone doing online school right now. I am so sorry. I only had to do it for 1 quarter, and I am still like, oh my God, I can't imagine something worse. It sucks. It drains you so bad. I was constantly working. Like I was doing, like the classes that I had to write a lot of blog posts. So I was like constantly writing in my room for like hours on end. And it's so draining to constantly be looking at your laptop. And I didn't get blue light glasses then yet. So I was like, my eyes were hurting, and it just is not fun. And I hated Zoom meetings, like Zoom meetings, Zoom presentations, Zoom everything. I hate Zoom. That is just not something that I am good at. I'm already kind of, okay. This may come as a shock, but if you know me, you get it. I kind of hate public speaking, which is hilarious because here I am like broadcasting my voice to whoever really wants to hear it. But the greatest thing about this is that I'm not looking at you while you're listening to this. So I have no idea what, you look like or whatever. And I don't like talking in front of people and people staring at me and listening to the things that I say. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. I definitely got so much better by the time like my last presentation that I did in person. Honestly, fucking killed it. I did good. Maybe not as good as my other partners, but I did good in my own sense. Like I felt really good about it, and I was definitely getting my confidence up. So I was feeling really good. So then, like I'm doing great, and then we get stuck in Zoom presentations and having literal, like you can see everybody looking at you. Are they probably looking at you? No, they're probably looking at themselves, but I hate it. I hate it so bad. So I just, online school is not for me. I like being in person so much better. I like having more of a relationship with my teachers. And yeah, it was not the move for me. And it sucked because that was my last quarter of college ever. And so I didn't even really get to like hang out with my classmates for the last time. So that kind of sucks. Wow, really emo. Okay, well, the fun moments of those months is that I did get to see my friends, like we did have really fun times together, and I am so grateful for that. And my roommates were the best. I mean, I felt so lucky that I got to be quarantined with them. So shout out to you guys if you're listening to this. Like we would go get takeout and watch the sunsets, and we were watching TV shows together. And honestly, it felt so much better. Like at least I was like, okay, I have these people, like they're my rock. I don't have to be like alone in this. And they were so nice because they both weren't even in college, and they were just supporting me through my last quarter of college living there. And it was just, it was rough. But yeah, so then that brings us to June. And obviously my peach was graduating. That was a lot. I'm very proud of myself for graduating college. I know I've talked about it before, whether I'm going to, directly use my college degree and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, I still feel nervous if people are going to hate me if I don't. But, it's my life. And I still am so thankful that I got to go to college, and that I definitely learned so much, and I think I can apply everything that I learned to really whatever I do anyway. So I don't think it was a waste. And honestly, if I didn't have college, I would not be ready to be an adult at 18. That was just never gonna be a solution for me. Like, that would have not worked out. So regardless, I'm glad I went to college. All the experience that I had at college was amazing, even with its, bad moments. Like, everyone has bad moments. I'm never gonna just be like, oh, that sucked because of this one thing. Like, no, everything was fine. And I loved my college experience. I wouldn't have wanted to go anywhere else. I wouldn't have wanted to be friends with anyone else. I loved all the friends that I made. And yeah, so RIP college. Bye-bye, I guess. And yeah, so then my pit was, since I was no longer in college, and the only way I was paying for my rent at that time was through student loans. So I no longer could live in Bellingham, and it was time for me to move out. And that was really sad. I loved my roommates so much, and we really made our house a home. Wow, super emo. But we really did. I mean, we made that house so cozy, and I just loved everyone in it and all the memories that I made, and I didn't want to leave. But, it was time for new beginnings for her, so she had to leave. And I did, and that was June. So by July, I'm starting to get settled back in my parents' house, which this house I actually, okay, little backstory. So I moved from my childhood home in, let's see, spring quarter my freshman year. So it's been 3 years of this new house, but the amount of time I've spent in this house is 0. I would be here for maybe some months in, the summer and winter vacation. All the other times I was up in my college town and I was not living here. So this was my first year ever living in the house, being with my parents again, living with them full time, which is a lot, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's good. So the peach of moving back home, because obviously, there are some pits, but the peach was that I got to redecorate my entire room and make it more like my aesthetic, because this room was it had a bunch of miscellaneous things around, nothing really went together. And so I was excited to make it all my own. And if you want to see that process, I have a TikTok vlog about it. It's just Marisa Gooding on TikTok. And I redid the entire room. I repainted it. I put in carpeting. I fixed all the lighting and the trim, and everything is just way more me. Right now I'm looking around my room and it's a mess, but it's definitely something more that I am into, which I like. So that was a really fun part. And another great thing of July, because COVID, I guess, it was still raging on, but I think everyone was just kind of pretending that it wasn't, which is, obviously not great, but at least with the summer, we could all be outside. So in July, I went down to Oregon to visit 2 of my high school friends, who I was so excited to hang out with them because, we went to different colleges, so we obviously didn't get to hang out a ton in the past 4 years, which sucks because they were my best friends in high school, and honestly, they still are. I love them so much. And so I was so excited to go down to Portland. That's where they went to college, and we did a bunch of cute Portland things. We went swimming. We definitely were COVID safe, and it was just, that weekend, or how long were we there? I can't remember. It was a week or something, but it was so much fun. That was still the highlight of my summer for sure. It was so good to just reconnect with them. And everything was the same. You could, it was 4 years hadn't even happened. And so it was super great. So if you guys are listening to this, I love you. I really liked that trip. That really made quarantine a lot better, because honestly, the rest of July was boring. Nothing really happened. I think I was just at my house, so what are you gonna do? And then August. So again, August was kind of boring. So I'll just talk about my peach. I got to go back up to Bellingham, and I helped my friend move into the house that I was actually living in. She took over my room, which worked out perfectly because I did not know how I was going to find someone else to live there. And honestly, I was not looking forward to trying to find that. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Why don't you move in? And everyone already knew her because she would come over a lot to hang out with me. And so, like, it just worked out perfectly. And, you know, she's still living there to this day, obviously. I mean, I guess it's only January, so that would be a really short lease if she already left. But yeah, so she moved in and she loves it. She loves my roommates, or I guess her roommates now. And it's been a great experience for her. And so I'm so happy that I got to give her my room, and she decorated it all herself, and it's super cute, and I love it. I love being able to visit. I mean, obviously I haven't been able to visit in a while now, but it's been so nice that I've been able to visit a couple times since she moved in, because it's just great. It's like all my friends in one place. So when I go up to Bellingham, I have a place to stay, and it's perfect, and it's homey because I've been there before. And so that was great. And I was there for a week. So like I helped her move, and we did a bunch of fun stuff at the same time. Obviously, again, like COVID was happening, but it wasn't crazy. I don't even know how to describe it, because it probably was bad, and I probably shouldn't have done any of this. So please do not hate me. But I swear we were practicing by the guidelines. We only did things outside. I mean, it's not like okay, I need to stop. Anyway, so that was August. Then it went into September. So exciting. This is my birthday month and also one of my best friend's birthday months. And we're actually a week apart, which is insane. Because I feel like we're the same person, even though we're different zodiac signs. I know she would hate me talking about this because she doesn't care about zodiac, which is fine. But it's crazy. I love being a week apart from her, because then we get to celebrate together like all the time. And so I actually went up to Bellingham and we celebrated our birthdays together. And that little weekend was amazing. It was so much fun. And we had a lot of fun. And I know we want to like kind of continue it, because there was some drama, like, as you know, drama happens, and so we kind of want to recreate it with maybe no drama happening. Who knows? It's okay. All the drama has been resolved and it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time we're like, oh, we kind of just want to celebrate again. Like I think it's mostly just we want to celebrate our birthday year round, so let's just do it again. But that was a really great time. Also with my birthday, like, because we did our celebration the weekend between our birthdays. So like hers happened, and then we had our little celebration, and then mine happened the following week. And so for my birthday, me and my family went down to the Oregon coast, because if you know anything about me, the Oregon coast is my favorite place in the entire world. I don't know what it is. Like, I know that we've been there like a lot growing up. We would go to the Oregon coast a lot, but like something about it. We went it was the summer after I graduated from high school. And because anytime before this, I don't think I really thought about it that much, but the summer after high school was the first time I went to the Oregon coast in a long time, like since I was a kid. And when we went, I was like, oh my God, like I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. And so I couldn't get it out of my mind. Like every time I'm there, I'm just like so happy. I can't even describe it. It's like there's just no worries. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm just meant to be there, which is maybe a little much, but that's just how I feel. And so we have tried to go every summer since then. And so this summer we couldn't really go just because everything was crazy with COVID and my mom was working and, you know, just kind of a lot. And so we decided to do it for my birthday because it was my golden birthday this year. 23 on the 23rd. Super exciting for me. And so, you know, we wanted to make it kind of special because obviously this birthday was going to be weird and I couldn't, you know, have a super amount of fun. So we went to the beach and it was honestly perfect. Like the day we came in, like on my birthday, it was pouring. And so, you know, we were a little sad, but then the next day, even though like on the weather app, it said it was supposed to rain, the next day it was beautiful, sunny, and that was our full day at the beach. And so we walked all around and we were like warm and I was like, okay, this is it. Like this was a blessing. I'm so happy for this. That's all I needed. I just needed one day of sun and beautifulness and I got it. And so I was really, really thankful. And then the rest of September was pretty boring. Okay, so then we get into October, which obviously a big peach is I started the podcast in October. I was going through a lot of different, I guess, waves of what the hell am I doing with my life, as one does. When I graduated college, I kind of spiraled a little bit, just mentally, which who doesn't? Am I right? Anyway, so I don't know. I was really having a rough time because I just felt so bad about myself, which now that I'm thinking about it is so dumb. I mean, all my feelings are valid and whatever, but like, oh, I just needed to give myself a break. I mean, like, I just graduated in a pandemic. Yeah, I'm not going to get a job right away. Like, it's okay. And of course I would be like that to everyone else, but to myself, I would just be so hard on myself. And I was like, if you're not going to have a job, you have to do something, because, you know, you can't just not do anything. And so I went back and forth a lot between like, maybe like making like TikToks more often, or maybe creating a YouTube channel. I even like filmed a video. I did it. I filmed a baking video. Honestly, it was cute, but at the same time, I hated it. So anyway, so then I landed on podcast and I like researched a ton about it. And I was like, you know what? I don't even need that many materials to do this. Maybe I should just start it. I mean, like, why not? It's not that big of a deal. Like, I can just tell a few people like when it releases. Because at first I was like, maybe I just won't even do it. And I won't tell anyone about it, because if I don't do it, then no one has to know. But so I stuck to it though. Obviously, here we are, January, and I'm still doing this. So I'm very excited that this is still happening. But yeah, so that was a big peach of October that I think deciding to do that really set the tone of just what I wanted to do. And I was starting to become a little more confident with myself, because I was like, okay, you know what? I'm doing this. Like, that's not a bad thing to ever say. And I don't know if I can totally put it on my resume, but like if I'm in an interview, I could like talk about things that I've done, and this is a thing that I have done. So anyway, I'm very happy that I decided to do it, because honestly, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed. Anyway, so what else happened in October? So this was right before our, second lockdown. So we, cases were starting to go up a little bit, and we were starting to get a little nervous. So actually the last big, thing that I did with friends was I went to the pumpkin patch with two of my best friends, the two that live in Bellingham. So they came down and stayed with me. Oh, and we just had the best time. That was the best weekend. We went to the pumpkin patch, took a ton of pictures, which all turned out amazing. I don't know what it was. The lighting, our fits, we were feeling it. We looked good. And we made a huge charcuterie board for dinner. I mean, we demolished that thing. It was so fucking good. And we just played games and drank wine, and it was great. And honestly, still one of the highlights. I want them to come visit again. Obviously, right now is not a good time, and we're still trying to just plan a time for me to go back up and visit them. This was actually the last time I have seen them in person, which is so sad, but we FaceTime and I actually write letters to them. So it's totally okay. And when things get normal, we will reunite once again. But that was a great last visit, I guess I should say. And before that, before everything went crazy, I also had a really fun kind of, I don't want to say trip because it's not that far from our house, but we kind of had a little weekend getaway in Tacoma. Me and my best friend, she was house sitting, like her dad's boss's house or something. And she was like, hey, do you want to like stay in the house with me? And we can like do some things around Tacoma and just have fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to do that. And so I think we spent like 3 days there. I can't even remember now, but it was so much fun. We like got lunch and we like tootled around some little shops. We saw the sunset. That was super fun. We like kind of just drove around because we both went to high school in Tacoma. And so Tacoma is very nostalgic for us. I mean, anytime, because now I don't really go to Tacoma that often, but anytime I'm there, I'm either visiting some high school friends or, yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. And so we were just kind of like driving around to places that we used to go to all the time. And we were like, oh my God, remember this? LOL, remember this? And there's just so many memories there. So it was kind of fun. It was fun. It was nostalgic and cute. But yeah, so my pit was obviously COVID was getting worse. And that leads into November where we reached our lockdown part 2. Lockdown part 2 has been gross because that kind of means I really couldn't see anyone. I have been now limited to seeing one friend, which I'm just grateful that I can see one friend. But everyone else is on FaceTime or socially distant outside, which, to be fair, probably should have been doing that the entire time. But you know what? I'm glad that I was able to see some friends and none of us got COVID and we were safe. So I'm glad that I got to have those memories because now, it's time to be really safe. So lockdown part 2, woohoo. But some peaches. I did have one last getaway before lockdown part 2 happened with one of my best friends. We went to the beach. So like I said, I love the Oregon coast, but we went to the Washington coast, obviously, because we were just doing a day trip. We just wanted to go to the beach, have a great time, and then come back because, we don't have time to be. I mean, where would we stay? In a hotel? No. So we decided to do a nice little beach trip to the Washington coast. And it's not that the Washington coast is bad. Like, it actually was a beautiful, perfect day. I could not imagine a better time to go. But, I don't know. Like, it's just not the same as the Oregon coast. But whatever. This trip was amazing. Literally, because we just decided to go, in November. So we were like, oh, it might be freezing. But it ended up being super sunny, beautiful. We brought a bunch of food. So we just literally sat on the beach, ate food, journaled, talked, made friends with a seagull, looked at the ocean, took some pictures, packed it all up and went back home. I mean, that was probably the most COVID safe trip I have ever done because we literally did not interact with anyone. We just were by ourselves. We didn't buy anything. We didn't go in any stores. We just went to the beach and then came right back and it was great. And then after the beach trip, shit hit the fan. So it was nice to have that one last little break before everything kind of went terrible. But another peach was Thanksgiving. Obviously, I have talked about Thanksgiving before. I have an episode all about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was really great this year. I mean, we basically did everything that we would have already done anyway. So not really complaining much. It was very nice. And then finally, here we are, December. And so some peaches. Obviously, a big peach for me was that I got a job. Whoa, crazy. So if you haven't listened to my other episodes or whatever, I am now working at one of my family friends' consignment store. And so I help cash out customers and whatever. And then I also take some of the clothes that haven't been selling and I've been selling them on Poshmark. And so that has been really fun. It's been super nice. I think it's definitely been boosting my confidence a lot because now I'm interacting with customers, which honestly I haven't really done. I've never worked retail, so this is my first time ever. And honestly, I feel like I'm kind of good at it. So that is really exciting for me. That definitely kind of solidifies okay, I'm doing something that I'm good at, and I really like it. I like interacting with customers. Who knew? I mean, of course I know that there are going to be days that I'm going to get some grumpy bad people or whatever, but so far everyone has been so nice and I actually love talking to them. They kind of open up to me a lot because everyone I think is just obviously having a hard time. And so everyone just wants to have some comfort. And so if I can just give them a little bit of comfort while they're shopping for clothes, that's great. I'm so happy that I can do that. And so it's been so cute. I've just had some really nice ladies come in. The greatest thing about this consignment store that I'm working at is that it's a woman and children's consignment store. So there's not a lot of guy clothes, which means I don't have to interact with a lot of creepy men. Yay! Thank God. That is definitely the biggest perk out of everything because I don't like creepy men. Who knew? But I'm not a fan of it. So yeah, I've been really enjoying my job and I've been having a lot of fun with the Poshmark part too. It's definitely it's nice that my job is kind of working with the public, but also working from home, because I do a lot of the Poshmark stuff at home, and then I like go to the store and do that stuff. So it's really nice that I kind of get to do both while everything is still pretty crazy. And it's nice to obviously have something on my resume, and I can build that and hopefully work, somewhere else someday. But I'm very happy with the job that I have right now. And obviously another peach of December was Christmas. This Christmas was actually so nice. And I know that not everyone has had a really good Christmas this year. Definitely some of my friends have voiced that to me, and it just breaks my heart because obviously I think, again, like everyone puts so much pressure on the holidays, especially Christmas. It's supposed to be the happiest time of year, and sometimes it's just not. But I was really thankful that I had a really good, happy Christmas. I mean, everyone was healthy and safe, and we were able to celebrate, and we got some good gifts for each other. Not that that matters, but it's always nice to have something that you like. And I think we all just were really thankful, and we were happy to just be together and be cozy. And it was honestly just a great weekend. I wish I could relive it. Losing my voice a little bit. But yeah, Christmas was great. And then, of course, the pit. COVID has not been amazing, obviously. It just feels like it just is getting worse and worse, which is obviously scary. And I mean, the only comforting thing is that, the vaccines are going out. A lot of my friends have actually already taken the vaccine, and they haven't had any side effects yet. Like they haven't taken the second dose yet, but everything seems to be maybe doing okay and maybe kind of looking up. That's like, I guess the one good thing from that is like, obviously COVID is going to be something that we're going to have to deal with, probably for the rest of our lives. So we might have to be getting COVID vaccines every year, just like the flu vaccine, which, is crazy. But if we can get some kind of handle on it, I think that's all we can really hope for. And another pit is the weather. Oh my God. I forgot how much I hate winter weather if it's not just crisp and clear. Like when it's just dry, even if it's like cloudy, that's fine. But if it's dry and sunny, beautiful, amazing. I'm obsessed with winter. Any other form of weather I hate. And in Washington, it just rains. It rains and rains and rains. And this is why people get seasonal depression, including myself. It's been a lot. It's like right now, as I'm recording this, it is raining. And it is making me sad because I want to be able to go outside and, get a breath of fresh air. And I don't really want to do that and get soaked. So that's been kind of a bummer. But it's okay because, winter doesn't last that long. So hopefully the weather will pick up. I don't know. Or if it has to rain, can it just snow? And so then everyone can just be cozy inside and have a snow day. Even though we're all adults and snow days don't exist anymore, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, can you believe it? That was my entire 2020 wrapped up in 45 minutes. Maybe that wasn't really a wrap up, but yeah. So now let's get into some of the goals that I have for 2021. So like I said, these are some goals that I definitely want to extend past 2021. I'm not going to put a limit, because I did see, and not that these aren't great goals for other people, but like a lot of influencers that I've been following, they've been like posting other people's goals. Like you can, like on Instagram, that little like question box, they're like, what are your goals? And people will write in. And some people will be like, oh, I want to read a book a month, which honestly, great goal. I might make that one of mine, but I also don't want to put that pressure of like, I have to finish a book a month, because if I don't, I know I'm going to feel bad about myself. Or like, if it's a few months go by, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I seriously can't do anything. So it's like, I don't want to put that pressure on myself. So I think if anything, I'm just going to be like, I want to read more, which I do want to do. I actually have some books that I need to start. I haven't even started yet because I've just been so busy, but maybe I'll do that today. Who knows? But anyway, so I just don't want to put a time frame on these goals. And I think no one should do that. You know what? Like every day, every minute, every hour, you're growing and you're changing. And so if we like put this limit, like you have to be different in a month, it's just like, it's not good. That's not a good idea to put that pressure on yourself. So I'm trying not to do that this year because I definitely do that. I put a lot of pressure on myself. And so I'm trying to ease it up a little bit. So anyway, my first goal is that I want to make healthier decisions. And now, like in the past, I've definitely been like, I need to stop eating sweets, or I need to lose a few pounds or whatever. And that is obviously not a great mindset. I mean, for some people, if it works for you, great. But for me, I know I get really hard on myself. And so that's not something that I really want to portray into the new year. So more of my healthier decisions is that I don't want to tell myself I can't eat something, but I want to just incorporate more healthier options. So like for me, I just kind of have a terrible time eating vegetables, which is stupid. I'm 23, but I don't eat probably my recommended amount of vegetables. So honestly, my only goal is that I try to just have a vegetable a day. I feel like that's doable. I can do that. Like vegetables and fruits. I need to have at least one a day. That'll make me feel better. And it's good for me. Like it'll just make my body feel better. So I want to try and do that. And along with that, I want to try and exercise more. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. Because I mean, the gyms are still closed, so I'm not going to be doing that. Honestly, I just want to try and go on more walks, maybe do some yoga. One of my friends and my mom both want to do yoga, so it's like we could just do it together, which would be really nice, and then keep me accountable. So I just have like just a few little exercise things because it's good to keep your body moving and your brain moving and whatever. Your brain moving? Is that even a thing? Ugh, God. Anyway. Also, I want to make healthier decisions regarding my mental health. Again, like journaling is really, really great for me. And so I kind of want to find maybe some other stuff that can go along with journaling. Maybe like some more dedicated prompts or like meditating. Just really being like, more accountable for all of these decisions. Because it's like, this is the only body and the only mind and the only life that I'm going to have. So why not treat it nicely? Like give it the food and the nourishment that it needs, move it around and make some good mental decisions, So anyway, and that's something that I want to do for longer than just 2021. I want to just make some healthier decisions and not be crazy because you know what? I'm going to have a cookie and I'm going to eat some bread and I'm going to have a fine time doing that. And I think everyone should. So another goal is that I really want to get into more of my hobbies, which I have talked about a lot on this podcast before. But for me, I tend to, in my free time, just kind of lounge about, which is never a bad thing. But there's plenty of times where I can probably be using my time more wisely. And one of my friends was even saying that she wants to be more mindful with her time. And honestly, I'm going to steal that. I'm stealing that from you. Because that's such a great thing to work on. And I think everyone could probably work on that. Like, of course, there's moments where you just want to vibe out, watch some Netflix, call it a frickin' day. And I'm gonna be doing that. Don't worry. But I definitely want to take some time to, get into some hobbies, do something different, get my mind going instead of just like kind of vegging out so much to where I'm just kind of almost like dead to the world, not amazing. So some things that I really want to get into is embroidery. My friend actually gave me an embroidery kit for Christmas. Thank you. I'm so excited. It's so freaking cute. And so what if I love it? And then maybe I want to do some more embroidery things. That would be awesome. I really, really, really want to get into hand lettering. I need to look up like some things that I can do to practice that and just get more into it. I'm really excited about it. And so it's like, okay, then let's do it. Let's get to it. I have a journal waiting for me to practice this. So I'm really excited about that. Obviously, I love baking. I would love to try and expand my baking knowledge because I'm really good at cookies. Like cookies, I'm like, wow. but I kind of want to expand a little more than that. And I have a ton of recipes that I want to try. So I want to try and do that more. Obviously, there's so many things I want to expand on with the podcast. I'm actually so excited. I've planned out the last 3 months of tons of new ideas to talk about, and I'm just really excited for that. And then get more into some creative journaling. This kind of goes with the hand lettering, but there's like a bunch of creative journaling that you can do where you like put stickers or put different like papers and collages. And I really want to get into that. Again, I also would love to get more into reading. I have so many books that I already want to read, and I was about to say I'm not a bad reader. I can read, but I mean, like, I actually really enjoy reading. I don't think about it that often sometimes. Like, there'll be times where I'm reading a book and I finish it in a day because I'm so into it. And then there'll be days that I just don't do it at all because I'm like, oh, but I want to watch this show, and which is fine, but maybe I should just limit the amount of hours that I am watching a show so then I can do something else. So anyway, those are some of my little hobbies that I kind of want to get into. And these two kind of go hand in hand, but I want to kind of realize more that things are going to be out of my control, and that is okay. Because I think everyone can agree that this year has been out of their control, obviously. I mean, this year has been crazy. So many things have changed for everyone. And as much of a control freak as I am, I mean, I love to have everything in control. And so when I am not controlling something, it gets me a little stressed. But I need to realize that life has its other plan, like life is going to do whatever the hell it wants. And I'm kind of just on for the ride. Of course, I would love to like plan out things in advance and try to have some control. And I think in some aspects, yes, I can still do that. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Things are not going to go my way all the time. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that I'm a failure. That doesn't mean I did something wrong. It just means it didn't go that way and it's going a different way. And I need to trust how, life is moving and just follow that path. So I want to, kind of get more in the mindset of that. And I also want to just focus on the things that really matter, which again has really been brought to my attention this year. Just with everything, you kind of really start to realize the tiny little things they just don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like the things that I want to focus on are my relationships with my friends and my family and who knows, a future partner or whatever. Like those are the things that I care about the most in this lifetime. Like those are the things that I'm going to remember. I'm never going to remember what clothes I was wearing or how much money I had or whatever. I mean, of course, I want to be successful in this life, and sometimes that means I need to have a little money in my bank account. But at the same time, like the things that really matter to me is just my relationships and how they're developing and growing. And in the future, I really want to have a family. And so that's something that I really want to strive for and be prepared for. And yeah, so there's just bigger things than just the tiny little things. And so if something little happens, I need to just try and get over it and just focus on the bigger deals in life. So yeah, that's those are kind of my goals. Again, like I said, I can do this for as many years as I want, or I can give up in 2 months. Whatever length I want to do, I can do it. But I hope you guys maybe have some goals or resolutions or whatever. And you know what? If you don't follow through with them for that long, it's okay. We're all human. It's not that big of a deal. We're constantly growing. Maybe there's something that you will start to do that you didn't even have as a goal or resolution, and it'll be good for you, Like, you never know what's going to happen in this year, obviously. I mean, time just changes so fast. I don't think anyone knew what was going to happen in 2020, and here we are. Our entire lives are completely different. Everything has changed, and now we have to go with this new normal. So it's like, who knows what will happen in 2021? I could be saying all this shit. I might not do anything that I just said because who knows what's going to happen. But at least we have maybe some goals that we want to maybe focus on a little bit. But anyway, I hope you guys maybe do some reflecting on 2020. I know it's kind of gross. No one really wants to. But I also think, like for me anyway, it was really nice to kind of look back and be like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. Obviously, there were some hardships, and for everyone, it's a different story. But if you could find something in 2020 that you were like, you know what, that was okay. I liked that thing. Then you did it. You made it through the year. And now we're in a new year, 2021. Let's hope for everyone's sake, it is a better one. Bar is on the floor, 2021. We just lived through that. I think 2021 will be maybe an ounce better, you know? So anyway, I hope you guys have a good reflecting time. And cheers to 2021. And I will see you guys all next week for a brand new episode. Bye.